Hey there, welcome to another update with Crotchety Elder. I'm going to call this segment Stuff That Grinds My Gears. Now, I'm a big proponent of innocent until proven guilty. I think that anybody, no matter how horrible the alleged crime, should be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt by a jury of their peers. People seem to forget that that is part of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights when they get so caught up in the alleged crimes. So, for those of y'all who have been keeping up with the disappearance of the Indian lady, her name was Sadiksha Karnaki. And if I butchered that, I'm sorry. Anyways, she has been missing for about 2 weeks now. The last person she was seen with was a man named Josh, about the same age, from the U.S. And basically, they went to the beach after drinking a lot that night, and she disappeared. He was the last one to see her, and his stories have kind of changed a little bit, but there's no evidence showing that there was any foul play. The authorities are saying he's not a suspect, just a person of interest. They've had people drown this year on that same beach. The parents of the young lady say that they don't think this young man did anything to harm their daughter. And they had a hearing today in the Dominican Republic because the Dominican Republic authorities took this young man's passport, which is against Dominican law. Dominican law, like if you're not going to charge somebody within 48 hours, you have to let them go. And they had they had the hearing. There was so much of a ruckus in the courtroom with all the press and the cameras. The judge ended up kicking out all the camera crews. I guess he didn't want a spectacle, and can't say as I blame him. And he ruled that they were not allowed to keep him basically quarantined in the resort anymore. Because up until now, they had made it to where he couldn't even leave the resort he was staying at. So he's basically, jailed just in a really nice jail. They're having another hearing in about 10 days, March 28th, to figure out his passport situation. I'm gonna guess, unless there's some evidence that comes in between now and then, he's gonna get his passport back. Now, the reason I say this grinds my gears is this case seems to be bringing out the worst in a lot of people on both sides of the spectrum. There are some people that are adamant that it's the dude, the young man did it, and he needs to confess, and they need to make him confess, and he obviously did it because he's a male, and his skin color and all this stuff. And then on the flip side, there are people that are saying, whatever happened to this young lady, she deserved it because she shamed her parents by, going out and partying and kissing a young man that wasn't her boyfriend, or, basically not being a nun. And it just, it blows my mind how people can get this hot and invested in a case. And they keep comparing it to the Natalie Holloway case. And while it's somewhat similar, you can't let past cases taint the evidence or lack thereof of this case. Now, in the beginning, I wasn't sure if I thought the young man did anything to this young lady or not. I'm like I said, I'm always innocent until proven guilty. And now that more stuff has come out, like they had a video that they released a couple days ago of the two of them being in the bar. I guess this was before they really got to know each other for the night. And both of them were seen going to the outdoor part of it basically and throwing up. So they had already been drinking enough to vomit, and they went out onto a beach alone, and the surf was bad that night, from what all reports were. So I really think that the story is just a bad situation, and it's kind of like he originally said that they were out in the ocean, you know, having a romantic morning, evening, whatever, and the ocean took a turn for the worse as far as like a riptide or rogue wave or something like that. They got swept out. He's jacked. He's a wrestler, and he said he was a lifeguard too. Now, being a lifeguard in a pool is a bit different than being a lifeguard in the ocean, but still, he had some experience. And so he said that he was able to get her and swim with her back to the beach, and that she was still alive when they got back to the beach, but that he had swallowed a lot of seawater whenever he was trying to get, swim with her back to the beach, and that he blacked out after they got back because of vomiting and I'm sure the adrenaline crash after almost dying in the ocean. And I think she either got swept back out to sea or somebody was watching, somebody nefarious was watching the situation and took advantage of the dude passing out and nobody being around. I just don't think this young man had anything to do with it. There's nothing in it from his history or his, you know, uh, the way he would be acting. It's sad. Her parents are asking the authorities to go ahead and declare her dead legally. Uh, I assume that's so that they can go ahead and start grieving. It does seem like it's kind of quick, but then again, no parent wants to be in the situation where you're constantly waiting to find out if your daughter is alive or dead. So I kind of understand that. Some people are making accusations of they're just trying to collect insurance money. Like I said, this case is bringing out the worst in people. So maybe we'll have an update in about a week or so unless some new evidence comes to light. And of course, I'll keep y'all posted. If you want to tell me what you think about this case, if you think he's guilty, innocent, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and most of all, share.